Hello everybody and welcome to our new presentation. In today's presentation, I will give you some information about a new law that came into effect in December 2020 and that allows for virtual meetings of general assemblies in associations. Hello and welcome. In today's presentation, I'm going to talk to you about a new law that has added some much needed clarity in relation to the possibility of holding general assemblies of your association virtually. Until the coming into effect of this new law, there were some discussions between scholars. Some scholars considered that if your articles of association did not provide specifically for the possibility to meet through video conference or teleconference, then you could not do it. Another part of the scholarship considered, on the other hand, that whether you met in person or through video conference or teleconference, that had to be considered a meeting. The COVID-19 pandemic has made even more clear these differences in interpretation because everybody was confronted with the need to meet remotely, and therefore the use of new technologies, digitalizations of meetings became more and more important. It is in this scenario that the legislature in Belgium decided to intervene to bring forward some much needed clarity. The new law offers various options to associations in order to organize general assemblies where people do not need to meet physically. This is extremely important, especially in the current context and during this ongoing pandemic. The law offers three main options. The first one is the possibility to hold a virtual General Assembly. The second option is the possibility to take written resolutions. And the third option is the possibility to express your vote in advance of the General Assembly. The first possibility offered by the law is the possibility to organize virtual general meetings. In order to do so, however, the association must be able to guarantee to the members the possibility to participate in the general meeting and to have access at the same time than everybody else to the documentation that is being shared. The members also must be able to vote and to participate in the discussion, so eventually to ask questions and receive answers. So as you can see, the legislature provides for certain conditions that allow the members of your association to participate in virtual meetings as if they were present. In addition to this requirement, the software used by the association must allow the association to clearly identify the members. For example, if your association has effective members who can vote and associate members who do not have the right to vote, the software must be able to make the difference. And therefore, although effective members and associate members may both participate in the General Assembly, the software must be able to give the rights to vote only to effective members. In addition to these requirements that concern the software that is used during the General Assembly, there are two additional requirements that you have to bear in mind. The first one is that you have to explain to your members what is the procedure that they have to follow in order to connect and participate in the General Assembly. Where do you do that? In the convocation notice, and if you have a website, on your website, ideally in a part of the website which is only accessible to the members who can participate and vote at the General Assembly. The second thing that you have to bear in mind is that the formalities for this type of General Assemblies do not end up at the end of the Assembly. Indeed, when you draft the minutes for the General Assembly, you have to bear in mind that you will have to indicate if there have been any technical problems. Why? Well, for an obligation of transparency. For example, if there have been troubles with voting, it is important that everybody knows what was the problem and how many votes were counted, if they were counted properly, if people couldn't hear properly or couldn't speak. All of these possible accidents linked to the software used or to the connectivity with your members have to be clearly indicated in your minutes. In addition to the possibility of holding virtual General Assemblies, the law offers two other options. The first one is the possibility to take written resolutions. However, this way of taking decisions cannot be used for the amendment of your Articles of Association. Moreover, in order for a written resolution of the General Assembly to be valid, that resolution must be taken at unanimity. This means that if your association has a limited number of members, for example 3 or 4 or 5, this procedure could be easily used. On the other hand, if your association counts hundreds of members, I can't imagine this procedure to be able to work in a smooth and efficient way. You have, however, another option that has been introduced by the law, which is the possibility to vote in advance of the general meeting. So your association could send questions to your members and ask them to answer those questions and to vote in advance of the general meeting. In that case, the system and the software that your association has chosen must allow the association to clearly identify the members who have voted. So, I hope that you enjoyed this presentation that gives you a broad idea about the new developments introduced by the law. I want to thank you for having watched our video. Stay safe and goodbye.